What's up, my girthy eggplants? This is Rob from McGayGuyPlays, and yes, eggplants, also known as aubergine to those across the pond, are actually fruits. Regardless, we are back with another installment of the Weekly Nightwave, the series where we take a look at this week's acts and figure out the most efficient or entertaining way to take them on. However, I do have to confess, this episode is going to be a little bit of a mess because we have a lot to cover. Now, I actually watched the trailer for this, I guess, installment of Nightwave, and I was very disturbed. There was something wrong, so I wanted to go ahead and run that, then give you a little bit of a reaction. After that, I wanted to go ahead and take a look at all of the cosmetics that are being offered up this time around, because we can go ahead and preview those. And then I want to close it out with the Warframe of the week. So let's go ahead and take a look at exactly what Nora's got cooking up for us.
Dreamers, you know about the infestation, right? Spreads like a month-old salad with genocidal intent. Swallows everything it touches, making monsters from meat or metal or both. Well, these days it's mostly contained. Spores as old as stone, derelicts drifting in forgotten orbits. So it was with old Kanga, somehow exposed and promptly cast out. Woke up on a blessed cage drop down to Eris. But should some sad soul catch the gray vein, well, every culture has its plague dogma. But maybe there's something more to this infestation, something we all missed. Turns out, Kanga didn't find void in that hell nest, no. He found a survivor. Little boy, Arlo, died 3 years ago, yet there he was. Lost his voice, but gained his life. And somehow saved old Kanga with the slightest touch of his slender hand.
So after that cinematic, raise your hand if you feel like there is something very, very fucking wrong going on over here. Because his head was not attached to his body. Okay? When they did the side rotation and you saw his profile and his head was over here, his body was over here, and there's some wires connecting all that shit together, I do not feel right about this situation at all. And when he was reaching out to the man, I was like, I don't know. Maybe don't touch him. Maybe it's a fate worse than death, because as we are all very aware, when there is a child in a horror situation, 9 times out of 10, it's the child that's the devil. Just putting it out there. I'm just saying. I'm sure that you're very aware of this, especially when we take a look at this week's customizations. Well, not this week's customization, but this Nightwave's customizations. Something's wrong. Something is very wrong with Arlo. I mean, you can take a look right here. Look at this child. Does he look innocent to you? No. That looks like the devil. So let's go ahead and move on from that. Try to aim our eyes a little bit lower and look down at the missions. Keep your head down. Don't make eye contact with the demon boy. So let's take a look at this week's acts. We have Air It Out, which is deploy an air support charge in the mission. If you guys have never done this before, it is a gear slot item. I believe that you do have to craft it somewhere. I don't know, but you'll equip it in your gear slot and you'll deploy it in a mission. Some cool thing will happen depending on what ship you got going on. Then we got Earth Fisher, catch 6 rare fish in the plains of Eidolon. We have Eximus Eliminator, kill 30 Eximus. Good Friend, help Clem with his weekly mission. Now listen, I don't buy into all of the Clem memes that happen. However, I do like helping him out every now and then. It makes me feel good inside. And then we have Sortie Specialist, complete 1 sortie, which makes me very happy. Then we have Venus Miner, mine 6 rare gems or ore in the Orvalis. I like how they're splitting it up. They're like, now you gotta go here, then you gotta go here. You gotta hit up both places. And then we have Grove Guardian, kill 3 Silver Grove Specters. Not excited for that one. And then we have Silent Eliminator, complete an extermination mission with level 30 or higher enemies without being detected. Easy enough. Now, I do want to go ahead and point off some of the overlaps that we have. Of course, very, very easy. Sortie Specialist and Eximus Eliminator is going to be the #1 that you'll be able to knock things out with. And that's mainly because of the fact that there just seems to be a lot of Eximus in the sortie missions. It doesn't even have to be one of those Eximus speciality ones where they have a like a large amount of them in general, but legitimately I always feel like you'll be able to knock that out within a single sortie. Aside from that, we have Silence Eliminator, and you know what? I know that we all have frames that we tend to go to, like I'm gonna run with Loki like we usually do, but this week I think I might try to mix it up a little bit, maybe play with a different stealth frame than you normally do, maybe give it a try with Wukong, right? Use that cloud, get in, go ahead and spin around a little bit with your big stick, knock out the enemies, and disappear again. Give it a shot. See if you can do that without alerting anybody. Technically, I think it's just the alarms that need to be alerted. Now, we have Grove Guardian. This one is like the thorn in my side. You get it? Because Grove Guardian. Kill 3 Silver Grove Specters. Now, this requires you to use Apothics, which are a little bit of a pain in the butt to get. Let's actually go ahead and take a look in the system to show off what I'm talking about. If you've completed the Silver Grove quest, you do have Apothics in your actual like blueprint area. Now as you can see, I did do some farming just in general because I did not want to have to fucking deal with it ever again. But as you can see, you have to craft any one of these Apothics you'll be able to use in the Grineer Earth tile set, and there should be like a little area where you'll be able to go into the back to go ahead and put these Apothics into the tribute area. I'll actually go ahead and leave a link in the description box below that has the recipes for where you can find all of these different plants, just in case maybe you want to mix it up. I don't want to mix it up. I want to throw it out the mix. So that is definitely one of the things that I will link you guys to so that you don't have to like think too hard about trying to get all of these materials. And then of course, Venus Miner, Earth Fisher, very, very simple. It's kind of nice to see such a short list, you know what I mean? And be able to knock them out nice and easily. However, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these customizations because they have come up. Of course, we have the Emissary Sigil, which I actually don't think is too bad. It's hard to see there, but yeah, you can't see it there. Sorry, Wukong. We'll show it off towards the end of this when we go into our Warframe of the week. Can we preview this? That's a great preview. But you can see, wait, look at that. You can see the little Nora Night, little Nightwave stencils. I kind of like that. We should have that I already have that, so I'll be placing that very soon. Let's use the Keratos Sugatra. This is just gross. I don't like infested things, so this Nightwave is not necessarily for me. But for the people, actually, you know what? For an infested Sugatra, that's not half bad. That is not half bad at all. Then, of course, we have Efficient Beams. Only consume ammo when dealing damage, and then 150% status transfer for the Convectrix. Now, from what I remember, the Convectrix has a lot of slash damage, so this might be interesting to see how this all plays out. Of course, I'll cover that in a future video. And then we have the Emissary Emblem, as you can see right there. It's a weird hand. I don't want it touching me, okay? This one creeps me out even more. You guys know how I feel about little fucking statues like the Harbiters of Hexus one that we get from the, what is it called? That we get from the arbitrations. Yeah, that one's creepy. And this one is even creepier. Look, you see what I'm talking about. He's a devil child. Don't trust the devil child, I'm just saying. And then, of course, moving along down the line, we have the Noggles. So we have Devotee Noggles. So clearly, god damn it, this child is gonna get worshippers and shit. So not only do we have a demon child to handle, we have a demon child with worshippers. You can see that this is slowly getting worse and worse. We have the Ancient for your K-Drives, which, by the way, raise your hand if you're still using your K-Drives. I still have fun with them. I just don't necessarily love them. Next up, this is gross, but I have to admit I kind of love it. Because it looks kind of like you're peeing. Doesn't it look like you're kind of like peeing these things out, right? It looks kind of disgusting, but I'm kind of interested to put them on Nidus or even some of the, what do you call this, infested Tenogen. I think would look really, really cool with it. It's nasty, but it's not, I mean, you look at it, literally looks like it's dripping down your legs. Some people are into it though, and you know what? I'm not gonna kink shame here. We have Exposing Harpoon. I need to make a video about all of the weapons that I'm cheering on, that I want to see successful and like thrive. And the Harpack is one of them, and I really want it to just be like really good at some point. It's kind of okay, is where we're at right now, but I want it to be really good. So I want to see if maybe this will do it for us. Pulling an enemy will give 300% critical chance for 10 seconds. Give it a shot. We'll see what happens there. Then, of course, we have the two-handed Nikana Maligna skin. A lot of people, I think, were hoping that this was an actual weapon in and of itself. However, it does look to be a skin. I'm not super duper impressed by it, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I do like the little detail of the little, I guess you would call it, it almost looks like bioluminescent, like the little, what is it called? The bait thing that those fish have in front of their face, the lures. But beyond that, I'm not too impressed with the model itself. Then we have Malicious Aim with the Volcar. It's not a weapon that I'm cheering on. I want the Volcar to fail. 105% headshot damage and then negative 45% body shot damage. Listen, I could care less about the Volcar, sorry. And then, of course, we have a couple cool things. We have another Umbra Forma in there. I'm glad we got 2 of the Forma bundles, as long as they're not fucking around with us when it comes to those stupid Forma missions. Then we have the Proto Smidge Shoulder Guard, which is very similar to the Grineer one, you know, where you have the Grineer head mounted on your shoulder. This is the ancient version of it. And as gross as I think it is, and it is very gross, and filled with arrows, by the way. Can you see all those arrows sticking out from it? What if you're not an arrow user? Maybe they made this specifically for Avar. I'm just saying. But I do kind of like how it drapes over your shoulder. I think that that's an interesting detail. We could probably add that into some of our infested skins. Then we have the Shitoid. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it, but that's how I pronounce it. The Shitoid, because I don't like Sentinels, bundle. So you get the mask, you get the wings, and then you get the tail. Also, the camera angle on this is pretty Shitoid too, because we can't actually see the Sentinel very well at all. I'm waiting for the camera to pan, but maybe it's so shit that's what it is. I like that little face mask. As much shit as I talk, I kind of like that little face mask. It's kind of cute, okay? But I think that's basically the only thing that's interesting of this pack. Moving along, we have the Emissary Operator Collection. As you can see, it reads, become like Arlo's Devoted with this Operator Cosmetics collection. Why are his Devoted infested devil beings? Why do his Devoted become infested devil beings? I'm just saying Arlo is the devil, and we just don't know it yet. However, that does look kind of gross. But, interesting fact, somebody did share with me on Twitter, whoever that was, hats off to you. You can put ephemera on your operators now. So this, in addition to the peeing infestation, what do you call this? Peeing infestation ephemera, all goes together to make a child that is infested and also peeing. Multiple things to question at once. I'm just saying. But I do have to say that it kind of looks sick, and for lack of a better term, and will go really, really good with some of the infested Tenno Gen that we see out there. It's not just Nidus, and I get really irritated when everybody's like, infested, well, it's Nidus. We have a lot of great Tenno Gen out there that is infested. Now, unfortunately, I'm going the opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to the Warframe of the week, because in all honesty, the Warframe that I wanted to highlight was Hildryn. I know it's very, very strange. I have not 150% committed to this color combination I hate the stupid Roomba drone. Get out of my shot! Get out! You bring shame. Anyway, it does, I'm not 100% committed to the color code for the energy quite yet. However, I will leave this one down below because it does look kind of pretty. I just don't think that it's the greatest now. But I've been using her a lot lately. And I've actually had a discussion with some people that a lot of people are not playing with some of the newer frames out there, like Garuda, Hildryn, Baruch. And to be completely honest with you, I've been loving Baruch, especially when playing him with the Thermia fissures, because I had to take a friend through some of that so that he could get some Vandals and whatnot. And I was using Baruch in there, absolutely fantastic. I was using Hildryn recently on some of my streams to farm some relics, or to crack some relics. Great for interception and holding down points. And Garuda was a lot less clunkier than I thought she was going to be, because I hadn't used her in a while, so my brain was not necessarily 100% connected. This is also the setup that I have for Miss Hildryn, my Buildryn for Hildryn. So definitely go ahead and check that out. I've actually really loved her, and I'll actually link a video of my playstyle and like a more in-depth variation on her build up in the corner. So be sure to check it out. Show Hildryn a little bit of love. I definitely think that she deserves it. And also leave me like any of your commentary down below, your feelings about those 3 frames. Are you using them? Are you playing around with them? Why do you think that they're not getting touched? Because I think that they're a lot of fun and a nice change. But I don't want to hear it, Mesa mains. I don't use any of them because they don't do the damage output that Mesa does. Nobody cares. Leave Mesa out of it. She's great, she's fantastic, but there are other options to have fun with. Regardless, that is gonna do it for this week in the weekly Nightwave. I did also want to go ahead and go over my TennoCon bingo with you guys, but maybe I'll go ahead and save that for a stream, or maybe I'll post that up in the community tab because this has gone on for too long. It's a really long episode, and I'm gonna shut up now. So leave all of your feelings down in the comments below. Don't forget about our WUKONG Prime Access giveaway. I'll also leave that down in the description. But as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch yo Hildryn. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. I should have said touch your eggplant. That would have been better. Touch your eggplant. Aubergine if you're across the pond.